Easy Sports Talk Show with Ed Smith and Devante Adams. My name is Devante Adams. You can call me Jay or J Love. And that man is Ed Smith. Not only did he play professional baseball, but he also played in the National Football League for that first Super Bowl-bound team for the Atlanta Falcons. He's an author. He is a wonderful cook, and he is also a motivational speaker. What is good, my brother?
Happy Friday, brother Jay. Made it through another one, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I got a happy Friday for the listeners out there as well. So I'll let y'all know about that in a little bit. But we do this thing 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure you tell a friend about what we have going on. You can go to easysportstalk.com. That's easysportstalk.com. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's at the Easy Sports Talk Show. Got a great show for you. As they say in Baptist churches, we're not going to hold you too long. We're not going to hold you too long. You played professional sports, as I just mentioned in our intro, and I am sure that you played with players that maybe hung around too long. Maybe you could tell that they had a love for the game, or maybe they were just getting paid and they didn't want to lose that check. So they stuck around too long. They continued to hold on when their body was trying to tell them otherwise. The reason I'm mentioning that is Kawhi Leonard, who has been with the Clippers for a few years now, and one of those legendary players, are really lauded as one of the best players in the game for a long time. Not so much these days, but he's had knee issues for a few seasons now, and it was just released yesterday that he's going to be out for an indefinite period of time. If you remember, when the Olympic team was getting ready to go overseas, they actually told him, "Now you can go ahead and go home," and he was upset and all these things, and it's almost as if they're trying to save him from himself in a lot of ways. And sometimes you would see over the last few seasons where he wouldn't play back-to-backs, or he would start a season, maybe he's playing, and then by the end of the season, he's playing less and less. The question I have for you is, and this was posed yesterday, so I wanted to bring this to you, is that should he walk away? And I'm not one to tell somebody to retire, but just one of those, when you're looking at, it doesn't seem to be working for you. Your body's telling you something different. Maybe it's time for you to walk away, not because you garbage, but because maybe it's just not going to get back on track for you. What would you say to Kawhi, or what's your take on this situation?
Only the athlete knows 100% where his body is. And at this point, Jay, we've seen Kawhi miss so many games. And here's the alarming part for me. This is after this latest instance right here, where they don't even give you when they don't give you a time frame. When they say indefinitely means we don't know. It could be 6 weeks. It could be 6 months. The problem for me is this isn't after a long, grueling season and he injured it again, and, hey, it might be time to sit him down for a while. This is after an entire off season. They told you, like you said, the Olympics, nah, it's not for you. Go sit down, rest it, get ready for the upcoming season. He did all that, and we're still at the same starting point at the beginning of the year. When you no matter how many you get, like, the goal is to get as close to 82 as you can. We know that day for him is long gone. But 40, 50 games, you even, like, when they're telling you indefinitely in October, that means we might not see you till after the Christmas break. And even then you come back and get a few games in. It's not like their knee's going to get any better per se. You're going to be dealing with the same issue. To me, this is sit down and have a talk with family and organization. If it's just not, the problem is, bro, in the NBA, all that money's guaranteed. So right off the bat, ownership's like, oh, you told us, what's going on? We just paid you $600 million and this is what we're getting. So they're going to try to talk you into staying, or at least giving them something for their money. The body is telling him something totally different. That knee. And it was funny because my son, we were driving from a football practice yesterday, and he asked me about Kawhi, and he's like, do you think he's a Hall of Famer? And I was like, I started thinking about it. He's missed way too many games for me, at least, to be like, no, one seed as far as when his
star was shining, it shined really bright. It's been dim it's too many instances of dim.
Yeah, for long periods too. We're not talking about missing a few weeks here, a few weeks there. We're talking about entire seasons at this point, or potentially. So at some point, the only person that can tell Kawhi to sit down will be Kawhi, but that it just doesn't look good, Jay. It really doesn't, and I'm sure everybody's going to be disappointed, including management and ownership who gave him all that money. But you can't
ownership. The money is one thing, but when you're opening up a new building, a new arena like the Clippers are, and you just want please just walk up and down the court a couple times, do something, man.
You let Paul George go.
Money back.
Yeah, you let Paul George go, part of that trio, thinking Kawhi is going to be here to carry, and he's going to be gone. All you got is old James Harden. And that's going
to be putting up shots, that's for sure.
Oh my goodness! But yeah, as far as Kawhi, I don't think we missed so much of his prime because he's not that old. It seems like he should be balling still, and we might have seen the best of him a while back. It's not even we just like last year or the year before. I mean, he's been having issues for a while, and I think we might have seen his best days. And it might be time. He might be a guy that just never gets back to that glory because, this knee seems like it's a perpetual forever problem.
Conversely, Lonzo Ball used to be on my squad, the Lakers. I think we gave up on the man too early. But Lonzo Ball, he returned after almost 3 years of being out of the NBA. He underwent with 3 arthroscopic knee surgeries on his left knee, and he was out. And that's one of those we talk about, should you walk away? I think a lot of folks would have said, nah, I'll just keep acting like I'm rehabbing and I'm gonna get this money and then I'll be out. But he actually came back and he played in the Bulls' final preseason game. That's one of those that you root for because you just never know. For one, you don't know how people will respond to adversity. And there's one thing to say, it was challenging for me to get to work today. No, if adversity in the sense of your body and trying to heal and then you go through and it's not taking and you go back and forth, you never know how you're going to respond to that. And you don't know what you're motivated by. Because if you're motivated by the money, the contract's a guarantee, so what's the big deal? But it seems as if he's internally motivated, it seems, and he's back on the court. Your thoughts on that, and did you ever experience something like that, whether in baseball or football, something along there where you had to go through, persevere, and you finally made it back?
Well, first thing on Alonzo, I was guilty of not really particularly, and this is all the Ball brothers. I always threw them a little shade, particularly because of their father. I couldn't stand their father, and that was unfair. He is the one who was running his mouth with all the bravado and stuff like that. It seemed like the boys, all they wanted to do was get out in the hoop, whatever the circumstances were. And for Lonzo, this, for me, this is even, I'm like, if I knew the man, if I saw the man, I would actually apologize to him. And I'm actually happy for him getting back on the court, now that I'm seeing more about him than his dad. As far as, his situation, I'm holding my breath, crossing my fingers, everything, because we know that when they start having these microfracture, these exotic surgeries and stuff where they're doing all this crazy stuff and drilling holes and I don't know what his procedures were, but anytime you miss that much time, it's really serious and it could be all taken away again just that quickly. So I'm actually hoping that everything was a success for him. I hope they don't overload him and he gets his career back on schedule. For me, the first taste of I had my first athlete surgery when I was really early in my career, 92. I tore my shoulder up in spring training, played the entire year, kept getting shots of cortisone throughout the season just to make it through the year. By the time the season was over, I had a consultation with a surgeon in Philly, and they were like, "Oh, it's like shredded lettuce in there." And I remember that first surgery, and my doctor told me, this is what he told me before he put me out, because he's going over everything. He's like, "Look, he's like, I'm gonna try to do this with a scope." He said, "If I can get it with a scope, then you're looking at probably 3 to 6 months. If it's not going good and I got to open you up," he said, "you're looking at a calendar year." And I was just, so that's the last thing he told me. And this is so early in my career. I hadn't even hit, I think I was like 22 at the time, 21, 22. I had just been traded to the Brewers, that type of thing. And you're talking about in the prime of your days, like the thought of losing a whole year, that was like, especially when you're not at the big league level yet, that was just so. And I remember waking up, and I was all bandaged up and everything. And the first sense of cognitive, when I was able to ask a question, and I asked him, so how'd it go? And he's like, I was able to get it done with the scope. It was touch and go, but, so, that's when for me, that was my first taste of, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? When you I felt like Superman before that. I was very vulnerable after that. And I knew the rehab and everything it took me to get back on the field. I had that surgery done in October. By spring training, I still wasn't able to throw a ball across the field. I started that season DHing and stuff like that, and eventually worked my way back to on the field. And it was, like I said, it was not an easy road. So for any athlete, depending on the severity of your injury, the time it takes place in your career, where you're at as far as making your money and stuff like that. It's all different, but we all experience it, so I'm hoping that for Lonzo, he gets through this and there's no setbacks, and he has a long and fruitful career after this. Because I know what it's like to be on that treadmill trying to get back to where you were at one point.
Easy Sports Talk with it's talk show with Ed Smith and Devante Adams. He's at IMJ. So you're in the throes of the Major League Baseball playoffs. Dodgers got it locked up. I mean, they're what, 3? It's 3-1. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then the Yankees ended up losing close one in extra innings. Did you watch both of those games? Because you didn't watch the Thursday night game, did you? Did you watch the Thursday night game?
Man, no, I had a Thursday night game on the secondary TV, and I didn't even pay attention to that. It was all about the baseball, man. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out what the Yankees closer. You got a dude off the bench, been sitting there for 9 innings. And you want to throw him back-to-back change-ups to start off his at-bat? You come with the cheese, dog, because he's been sitting and watching for 9 innings. There's no way his bat is revved up for the heat. All you did was slow it down for him. And then the other thing, and this is from someone with experience, he was sitting dead change-up. To hit it as far and as hard as he did with that kind of timing, he was sitting dead change up, and you fed right into his addiction. I'm serious. I mean, I've been there before when I've been looking change up and got change up. Oh, my holy Jesus. When you're looking for it, you get it. It's a beautiful thing. If he had threw them gas, bro, he'd have probably swung 5 seconds after the ball hit the catcher's mitt. But he fed right into it while you go back-to-back change ups. First, you threw him one so his eyes could see the timing of it. So now he's sitting on it, the second pitch, and instead of coming with the heat, you threw him an identical changeup, and he's sitting and looking for it, and that's what happens, bro. That was and that's what I'm telling you. When I watch, I dissect, and that was like a beautiful thing to watch that, because I've been there before, sitting either dead red or he's going to try to fool me with this little dinky changeup, or he's going to come with the breaking ball, and you're looking for it. And you look like a genius when when a plan comes with you resting like that. And so that saved the Guardians, as far as falling into a 3-0 hole, you're going to hard press to come back. That changes the whole dynamic. Down 2-1 instead of 3-0. As far as Dodgers look like they're feeling themselves right now, they look pretty good. The bats are all woke up. Their pitching looks like where it should be. The only thing I'd worry about for the Dodgers, they close this thing out too early. They might have a bunch of days to sit around and think about it and get cold. Otherwise, they should be locking this one up here directly with the Mets. But both great series so far. I've enjoyed both of them. It's funny how, like I said, I can flip the switch to playoff baseball, and it'd be like it's the best game on this planet again watching it. I love it, playoff baseball.
All right. Leave me with this last thought. Devante Adams with Amari Cooper, who will have the biggest impact on their team? Or because Devante Adams, of course, got traded to the Jets, and Amari Cooper traded to the Buffalo Bills. Who do you think will have the biggest impact on the team?
I think Amari will, because Amari is coming over with no baggage. Amari has always been one of those guys, doesn't care how many balls he gets. He just wants to fit into the system. If you throw me one ball, I'm good. If you throw me 20 balls, I'm good. Devante is him in this relationship he had with Rodgers back in Green Bay. He's going to want to resume that. And that's going to rub some people, in my opinion, wrong in New York, meaning they're Wilson. I think they're number one wide receiver. Also,
trying to get that money.
Well, all of a sudden you come in and you're the belle of the ball. He just forgot about me. And, you guys are going to resume your friendship by taking balls and, focus away from me. I think it's going to rub some people the wrong way. And the one quick thing, my son, we had these conversations. He was like, I kind of feel sorry for Devante, having to get out of Green Bay or get out of Vegas. I said to him, no. I don't feel sorry for him at all. He was the one who worked his way out of Green Bay from the exact same dude he's going back to in New York. He worked his way out of Green Bay because, and I write, with Rodgers and am I staying? I'm going to the darkness retreat. But he got tired of it, but he left to go play with his boy Carr in Vegas. They shipped Carr out. Now, we're supposed to feel sorry for you because you're getting balls from Minshew Mania and O'Donnell or whoever, whichever Irishman's over there throwing to you. We're supposed to feel sorry for you? No. So now he worked his way out again. The hamstring got healthy real quick, didn't it? So he's all ready to go.
That's the thing that I don't like. That's the thing that I don't like. I understand you're trying to get your way. I want to go from point A to point D. And so in order to get my way, I am going to pull out every little trick in the book. I just think that is so I can't respect that.
Shady.
I just can't respect it. It's shady as heck. Yeah. No matter who does it. I don't care if it's somebody on my favorite team to get to my team or whatever. It's just shady. It is shady.
Well, you know what happened, too? They watched the film was a few weeks ago, and Pierce the head coach of Raiders, made that statement about, people out there making business decisions. Everybody knew one of the people he was talking about was Devante, and Devante didn't like being called out like that. So what's his plan? Well, I got a hamstring, And knowing the whole time, all he wanted was to get the heck out of there. As soon as he got out of there, the hamstring was going to be feeling 100%. He's right as rain right now, ready to go. And that, to me, like you said, is shady in itself, that's how he worked his way out of there. I have zero sympathy for him. I'm not rooting for the Jets. I'm not rooting for Rodgers. I'm not rooting for Devante. They fired Saleh. I'm not rooting for none of them over there. I hope they continue to struggle. And whatever they get, they rightfully earned, because the karma will come back and get you, Jay. Watch. He's going to pull a hamstring in the next few weeks. He's going to pull one for real. And then you're going to be on the sideline for about 4 to 6 weeks. So see what the Jets get out of this. They're going to get Karma is sitting out there waiting to bite you in the ass right now. We know
that. We also know that we do this 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He's Ed Smith. I'm Devante Adams. Go to easysportstalk.com. And the gift that I have for you today is I got a new project that's out. It's called MC Sessions Volume 1. MC Sessions Volume 1. So go wherever you listen to music, go ahead and check that out. So you can go to, matter of fact, go to jlove.bandcamp.com, jluv.bandcamp.com. You can go and listen to it. You can download it, purchase it, and download it. Wherever you go and listen to your music on your streaming platforms, you can find it there as well. You can also go to javonadams.com, go click on shop, and then you can download it there as well, pay for it and download it. So whether you want to stream it, whether you want to pay for it, all that stuff, it helps. And so MC Sessions, I'll continue to let y'all know about that a little bit over the next few weeks as well.
I love when you put the new stuff out, man, because the first thing I do is I go put it on the iPod so I can rock with you while I'm driving.
I appreciate it. You gotta let me know what you think about it. I know I've given you kind of the sneak peek on a couple of those. So make sure you go and subscribe to the YouTube channel at The Easy Sports Talk Show, at The Easy Sports Talk Show. And as we always like to say around this time, you can